Let's talk about charging the Tesla Model Y, and I'm going to talk to you based on my recent experience, my first time driving a Tesla Model Y in South Australia, near and in and around Adelaide. There was actually quite a bit of confusion when we first got in the Tesla Model Y recently in South Australia, and that's because previously, when we'd rented EVs, including Teslas, from the same rental company in Western Australia, including earlier in the same year, we were given a key fob that we could use to charge the car using the ChargeFox network. So that's kind of what I was expecting. And we got off the plane and I was so tired, and we had a car full of suitcases and a crying toddler, and everybody was just tired and hot and hungry. And we just wanted to get to the place we were staying, but we needed to charge up first because we picked up the car and they said, "Oh, by the way, sorry, we didn't have time to charge the vehicle for you, but in exchange for that inconvenience, when you bring it back, don't worry about charging it. Just whatever you have left is fine." So I thought, okay, fair's fair. We drove away with the knowledge that we had to go straight to the nearest charging station and get it charged, right? So we go to a ChargeFox station because that's what I was programmed to think we had to do, and nobody told me otherwise when we took the vehicle away from the rental. And we got there and tried to use. We got there and I realized, oh wow, did I forget to ask for the ChargeFox key fob, or did they just not give me the ChargeFox key fob? And then I called them multiple times, and there was a lot of confusion. I spoke to a couple of different people at the rental company at the airport where we took the car from, and after going to a couple of different ChargeFox locations around Adelaide, we realized, oh, actually, no, they don't give you a ChargeFox key fob anymore, and that relationship between the rental company and ChargeFox has ended. Now it's up to the renter, the driver, to go and pay for their own charging. This is something that was a bit of a shock to me. And in fact, that was completely opposite and contradictory to something that somebody else at the rental company told me just 30 minutes prior. Anyway, they did say to me, look, we don't tell our renters this, but at the moment, if you just go to a Tesla supercharger and you charge up there, the bill for that charge comes back to us as the rental company. And currently, we're not passing that charge on to you as the driver, as the renter. So his recommendation was, hey, just go to a supercharger, a Tesla supercharger. I thought, okay, cool. So once we figured that out, we found a good Tesla supercharger location in Glenelg. Actually, that's the one that we used every time. And everything was fine after that initial confusion. By the way, if you want to get all of my notes about the Tesla Model Y and every other EV that I drive, click on the first link below in the description and I'll send everything right to you. I've got to say, I was really thoroughly impressed with just how easy and simple it was to recharge the car using the Tesla supercharger network, specifically the one that we used multiple times there in Glenelg in Adelaide. It was just so easy. Literally park the car, connect the charging cable, tap on the charger itself using the car card, and that's it, done. Nothing else to do. You don't have to make any selections. You don't have to mess around with any apps or anything at all. It's just charging. It kind of got me by surprise the first time because I just plugged it in, tapped the Tesla card on the charger, and I was sort of looking around like, what do I do next? And then I looked inside the car and I noticed, oh, it's charging and it's going to be fully charged in about 40 minutes. I'm like, wow, that's so easy. So it was really, really easy. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. After using an EV and charging up an electric battery, especially now that they're charging much faster than they were a couple of years ago, it's just such a pleasure. And I just can't see myself choosing to go back to filling up a car with petrol or gasoline if you're from the US. Even though I do currently own an internal combustion engine car, that's a whole nother story for another time. But if I had the choice, and when we're renting cars in places that we travel to, wow, driving an EV is just such a pleasure compared to having to go to a petrol station. Not only do you have to pay maybe $100 or even more to fill up a tank of petrol, it's just archaic, and this new way of charging up an EV is just so much more futuristic and pleasurable. Before we figured out that we had to use the Tesla supercharger network, and when I thought that we were still supposed to use the ChargeFox network, we went to one location for a ChargeFox, and it didn't have the cables provided at the charging station, so we actually had to dig our cables out of the back of the car and plug it in. And, my only experience charging an EV using the cables that we have in the car was about a year ago in a BYD Atto 3 down the coast in Western Australia, and it just charges noticeably slower. But in this most recent trip in the Tesla Model Y, we didn't actually recharge the car using the cables that were provided. We always just used the cables that were provided on the charging station itself. Something else that I haven't ever tried that I would like to one day, but so far my experience of driving EVs is just as a renter, not actually as an owner. But I guess if you own an EV, including a Tesla Model Y, and you've got a charger at home, then you can just charge it at home. And that sounds really, really convenient, especially if you can optimize when it charges to take advantage of either cheaper electricity rates or when you've got the solar available. But yeah, that's something I haven't tried yet. I'd like to try that one day. There is still definitely some range anxiety when it comes to driving the Tesla Model Y or any EV. And that was really noticeable to us in our most recent trip because the area where we were staying, it wasn't near any Tesla superchargers. So we had to always make sure we had at least 20 or 30% battery remaining so we could drive the 30 minutes to get to the Tesla supercharger. And then, of course, by the time we drive another 30 minutes back to the area where we were staying, you're already down to, I don't know, 85% battery or something like that. So we felt like we were kind of limited in how much range we actually had. And we weren't even really that far away from the city. We're only about 45 minutes or an hour away from the city. Also, when we were in Australia driving the Tesla Model Y, I heard a story come over the radio when I was driving the Tesla Model Y, and this is why I thought it was so interesting. And the news story said that EVs, all EVs, are disappointing with regard to the range they tell you that you can actually get versus the truth, the reality of what you'll actually get from the EV. But, and this is why it caught my attention, it said the Tesla Model Y is probably the best of the bunch. Interesting. I don't know what I think about that. Yeah, look, I don't have a whole lot of experience driving the Tesla Model Y. I drove a total of 479 kilometers recently when I drove it for the first time. We had the car for 6 days. I've previously driven other EVs, including BYD, BMW, but let me know what you think. Do you agree that the Tesla Model Y is the best of the bunch with regards to the advertised range that the car is telling you it can do versus the range that you'll actually get? Or do you think it's worse and maybe some other EV is actually better? I'd be interested to hear what you think about which EVs are the best and worst in this regard. And by the way, if you ever want to get in touch and we can connect, and maybe I can feature your EV here on the channel in the future, drop me an email, get in touch. We'll see if we can make it happen. That's all for this video. Have a great day and talk to you next time.